one place I can come and do some vlogging, and usually not a lot of people out here, but this little place is right off post outside the Benning Road Gate at Fort Benning, and it's a parade field where they come do basic training graduations, and there's a lot of memorials and monuments over here, and a lot of different units from over the different campaigns and wars that the United States has had that has some sort of association with here at Fort Benning. And Fort Benning is the home of the infantry. This is where the infantry school is, so a lot of infantry based history is placed here on Fort Benning. And this memorial right here is from the 173rd Airborne Brigade, and I think it was Big and Rich that did that song, 8th of November, and I think they actually had a part in having this memorial put up here. I was a parachute rigger in the Army, so everywhere there's a airborne unit, you know, the parachute riggers are there because we have to pack, maintain, repair, and all the air items, all the parachutes and air items, and also we do heavy drop too. Just, you know, rig loads up on a platform, put it on a C-130, C-17, and drop it out of an airplane. But this is a place right off post, and sometimes I come over here to take pictures and walk around a little bit, look at the memorials, read them, and you know, they got like Medal of Honor recipients, memorial, and some sculpture type stuff. But yeah, it's kind of neat to come out here, and it's a little bit humbling knowing that, you know, there was a lot of people that served in these units, fought and died for this country. So it's a way to come out here and pay tribute to them, just to look at these memorials and think about the people. And there's actually one memorial out here that I've gotten to meet a lot of the guys that was in this unit that they served in Panama, and they were there when the invasion happened, just cause. And you know, it's they were there, stationed there, and then the invasion happened. So they took a big part in the invasion, that what happened there, and they did lose a couple of soldiers in that conflict. And I've been blessed to know some of these guys, and been to a couple of their reunions. But my neighbor across the street was part of the 508, and they were stationed in Panama. So got to know some of them. Sipped a few beers with them, and really enjoyed spending time with them. It was you know, a blessing getting to know these guys. You know, it's every time that somebody comes over to my neighbor Chris's house, and I go over there and spend time with them, just listening to the stories that they tell, because their service was completely different than mine. I was supply support. I just packed parachutes, and these guys were actually on the ground fighting, shooting, and it's just fascinating to me just to listen to the stuff they tell. And you know, honestly, I'm glad I never had to be in any kind of a firefight, because you don't know if you're gonna live through it. So I haven't had to endure that type of pressure or stress in my life, as, you know, being in a firefight. So thankful for my service, but I'm also thankful that I wasn't combat arms. But yeah, this is a neat little place. I got a bunch of bunch of memorials out here. Let's see if I can flip this around. All really cool, but I haven't read them all, so but yeah, there's a lot to look at out here. But I also want to give a shout out to a few of the guys that have been showing me a lot of love. You know, I really appreciate the inspiration that y'all been giving me in my journey of trying to improve myself through physical, mental, and spiritual wellness. And thank you for David Griffin. You know, it's good to find people that love Christ and follow Jesus. And I know that might not be everybody's bag of tea, but you know, I don't hate on nobody that don't believe the same thing I do. So, but it is good to find fellow believers in a community like this. So David, shout out to you. Thank you for your kind words and your support. And Keith Chronicles, man, I tell you what, if you ever come through Phoenix City, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, you need to stop and grill me up something. You eating some good food, and I like it. And you know, the people that it seems like, I don't know if they started this thing or what, but Julian, you know, you're there every day. You're putting stuff up there and really inspiring and talking to folks. And Cam Brown, you know, you're one of the ones that I've watched and looked at as sort of I don't know if you want to call it a leader of the pack, but you know, you spend a lot of time investing into this YouTube thing and investing in others, and you know, shouting out other people and bringing awareness to their channels. So you know, I really appreciate that. Here's the parade field and the grandstand over here. I guess you could play a couple of football games out here. Also, shout out to Sprinting with Scissors. I can appreciate your humble approach to this YouTube thing, and I'm glad that you enjoy doing it, and how you talked about how most of your subscribers and views come from previous videos. And you know, my comment on there was I've always thought about YouTube as if you weren't able to progress and make money out of it, you know, what's the point in you know, uploading videos? And always wanted to, but you know, to justify the time and equipment, I was like, man, you know, you have to make money at it for it to be worthwhile, or else you seem kind of silly doing it. But you know, the videos I'd put up in the past, I really enjoyed doing it. The whole process of filming something, chopping it up, cutting it up, editing it, and putting a video out is really enjoyable. And for me, you know, my hobbies have to keep me close to the house. I need to be able to tend to my wife at a moment's notice. So, you know, this video thing seems like it's a venture worthwhile to me to do something I enjoy, and hopefully to progress and get better at it, and hopefully in the meantime inspire somebody else, or even, you know, right now I'm being inspired by all of you guys. It's I'm drawing in more than I'm putting out, so really appreciate the content from everybody else. So here's a couple of, I think this might be a Bradley right here, but I wasn't in the infantry, so I don't really know the proper nomenclature for all these. Look like they put a fresh paint job on it recently. But yeah, I don't even know if they still use a Bradley armored personnel carrier. Here's something from a older time, another APC of sort. Let's see, looks like, well, that gun looks a little smaller than that one, but old school half track here. But got a lot of monuments and stuff over here. statues. It's all centered around, the loss of life. This statue here, this soldier saluting the fallen. And man, it really tugs at your heart, and makes you thankful for the country we live in. But it also makes me so thankful that I haven't had to endure this stuff. And here's a monument, a Gold Star Surviving Family Memorial. Oh my goodness. And the families that have to carry on after losing a loved one to war, or even training. I guess it's never a good time to lose a loved one before they are of old age. But it's not just wartime. People can get hurt and killed in training. I work in where I work, I fix parachutes for the United States Army Airborne School, and I'm blessed to be able to do that because I was a parachute rigger while I was in the Army. So this is kind of returning to my roots, and I enjoy the people I work with. They're just as immature and silly as I am, and I really have a good time at work. And that's dangerous stuff. Training is dangerous, whether you're jumping out of a plane or shooting, doing live fire maneuvers, and just also being around heavy equipment. There's accidents happen in training, so it's dangerous stuff. And but I'm glad my service was quite uneventful. I got out of the Army right before 9/11 happened, so I didn't hear something else. I don't know. Here's a M1126 Striker. Okay, infantry carrier vehicle. So let me know if any of y'all have served in the services or served in the military and had to operate some of this equipment. M1240 Oshkosh MATV, mine resistant ambush protected vehicle, MRAP. Okay, I was right, this is an MRAP. But these are some, let me extend my thing and get a little bit closer to it over here. There's some pretty wild looking machines over here. I wonder if we used to airdrop these things. I don't know. Because a lot of stuff that the military had, they would test it out, put that thing on a platform, lash it down, and shove it out of an airplane. But the C-17s, the fuselage in the cargo area is a lot bigger, so I guess it made it more suitable to airdrop bigger equipment, because back when I was in, it was mainly the C-130 and C-141, and those fuselages were pretty, I guess, small in diameter. So we could put doziers and road graders and stuff on there, but you had to take a lot of it apart to make it small, to rig it up to put it on there. And let's see here. A little train. Please do not touch or climb on vehicle. I bet you any given time you can come out here and see a bunch of kids crawling all over it. And this is just a little mock up of it's like the barracks, the old World War II style barracks, 2-story. And each building would have a different purpose. You have headquarters, administrative, supply, and all that kind of stuff. A chapel, and yeah, it's a pretty neat little area. World War II Company Street 700 series building. Yeah, that building would be the supply, and I can't walk in there, but each building has a purpose. It houses a different part of military operations. Look at here. Yeah, for right now, it seems like I'm receiving a lot of benefit from this community, and you know, I had a few good words the other day as far as my goals and aspirations of improvement, but eventually I'd like to transition to one that actually inspires others, has good information to share and pass along. But as far as my health journey, you know, there's times when I choose to skip lunch, do one meal a day, and whenever I do bring lunch, I try to make it heavy on the protein. I'm not on the carnivore diet, but I do enjoy eating you know, protein source meat, you know, whether it's pork, beef, chicken. That's mainly the three sources of meat that I choose to eat. And I do like vegetables. I'll eat a salad, like David was talking about. He'll get that big bag of salad from Walmart, sort of pre-made with stuff. I do the same thing. I'll get that whole bag and put me some extra meat on it. I'll toss out the croutons, trying to stay away from the breaded stuff. But yeah, I try to eat healthier, but one of the issues is I'm probably still overeating. Even though I'm eating healthier, I'm probably overeating. But one of the struggles with healthy food is we do have a lot of unhealthy food in the house. And the reason for that is because my wife is disabled, and I want to be the, you know, the stellar loving husband that does everything I can for her. If she wants something, Carlos don't say no. Whatever she wants and desires, I start fetching and stepping and trying to achieve that for her. Whether it's a bag of chips, candy, Cokes, whatever. If she asks for it, she's got it. So she's found these little Starburst minis, and like any hyper palatable food, they are very addictive. It seems like they're better than anything else. And if I get my hands on them, it's like a blood and water. I'm a shark feeding frenzy. But yeah, that's been a tough one to abstain from getting my sticky mitts into her candy. And you know, I can't blame her for my lack of discipline. So if she still wants to get it, it's still going to be in the house. Doritos, chips, whatever she wants. She likes Sprites. She's on a Sprite kick right now. Then she's got it. For the most part, I do well with staying away from it. But if I get my hands on one, I'm probably going to sit there and eat a bunch of them. But as far as snack type foods, you know, I say I want to stay away from heavily processed food. Look at that big old bird. Oh, goodness, is it? Must be something dead. Might be a what you call vulture of some sort. But where was I at? Oh yeah, if I want to snack on something, I try to keep something healthy. Well, less unhealthy. But I started getting pork skins because, you know, it's protein and don't have many carbs or sugars in it. But try to keep some little grape tomatoes, you know, something to eat a few of every now and again that isn't so heavily processed. Well, there, I guess so. Sound like could be flying in the gates right there. But here's some more monuments. This is getting into the armor area. Over there was more of a infantry, light infantry, ground soldiers. But over here, this is right at the entrance to the Benning Road gate at Fort Benning, and what do they call it? Patton Park. M113 A1 ACAV. Just a armor personnel. Let's see what we got here. What kind of tank is this? M48 Patton. Let's take a walk around this thing here. Look like they got some fresh paint on them. They must have spiffed them up before the 4th of July celebration last weekend. Big old gun right there. Man, I sure would hate to have one of these bearing down on me. Let's see what this is. Is this a Sherman? Is that what this is going to be, a Sherman tank? Let's see what the plaque says. Pershing. What am I talking about? Sherman tank. M26 Pershing heavy tank. I already know what this is. I've seen these enough to know. I think this was preceded the M1A1 Abrams. This is the M60 main battle tank. This is a Hoss. M60A3 main battle tank. Look at there. They got a big old booty on it. But yeah, all this machinery here. It's all the steel in it. This big old cannon. Got a bore plug in it. It used to be what they just call the home of the infantry, but after the Armor Division, Armor School moved here, they changed it to the Mover Center of Excellence. And I'm going to skip the star of the show here. Let me go around here to this one first. This is the Sherman tank. I don't know what I was thinking a minute ago. Pershing tank, Sherman tank. This is the old school World War II tank. It was mass produced, and I felt bad for these guys that had to go up against those German Tigers. I can't remember the name of the other ones, but here we go. Try not to get the Armored and Cavalry Heritage Park. But those German tanks were tough. Here we are. M1 Abrams main battle tank. I think this dude is still in operation today. There's several different iterations of it. I don't know if you got M1, A1, A2, A3. I don't know where it's at right now. But yeah. Big nasty. But yeah, this guy here, it has a jet engine in it for propulsion. But yeah, tell you what, if there's an enemy of the United States and they have knowledge that those M1s are on the ground, man, I don't know how they continue to fight. Maybe I'm just a coward, I don't know, but knowing how deadly and accurate those things are, it'd make me want to just go AWOL. I'm glad I chose my MOS and served my time. And I did 8 years and 9 months, just shy of 9 years, and decided to get out. My father was in bad health, I had gone through a divorce, and I was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I was just ready to be at home. I needed to get back around my family, you know, lick my wounds for all the carnage I had caused for myself over the last few years. And so that's what I did. I got out of the Army and came home, and I got to spend about 3 months with my dad before he passed away. So if I ever have any thoughts or regrets about getting out, I just think about the time that I spent with him, and it makes it all worthwhile. No regrets. Family first. Well, God first and family. I'm glad he was able to leave this earth knowing that I was at home and I had chosen a career path. Here it is. This is what I was thinking. The terminology was the Sheridan. Now I remember when I was stationed at Fort Bragg, I wasn't in the 82nd. I was in a course support unit. We pack chutes and rig stuff for everything outside of 82nd and special ops. So it was just 18th Airborne Corps stuff. But I remember seeing these little Sheridans that the 82nd were still using. Sometimes we'd have to go down to the 82nd Airborne heavy drop rigging site to do some of our work, and 82nd had some of those, and they would keep them rigged up, I guess, contingency loads, just in case a balloon went up. They could throw them on a plane and go. But anyways, yeah, I got out of the Army in 2000. So August of 2000, and I went to work at a Walmart distribution center a few months later, and that's where I spent from October of 2000 until May of 2021, when I got the job and started working out here on Fort Benning. So I guess if y'all hung on and listened to me ramble this long, I appreciate you stopping by, and just like to say thanks again to everybody out there that's welcomed me into this group of creators, and ask for forgiveness if I don't shout you out and get back on the comments too quick. I'm trying to catch up, learn everybody's names, learn their channels, so that way I can properly tag y'all in the videos and try to bring some exposure to your channel, and to help everybody else along, just like everybody's helped me. So like I said, just give me a little time to get caught up and up to speed with everybody's names, their channels, and I can start doing the same for y'all that y'all have done for me. So I appreciate you, and y'all have a good day.